Next up, we have two seasons from one TV show. I've only watched the first series so far, which was amazing, and I need to get around to watching the second season. There's been 5 series total of this show, 4 22 episode ones, and then one final one with 12 episodes, which was released earlier this year. But I'm of course talking about the comic book sort of, I don't know, prequel series, I guess you would say, to the whole Batman universe with Gotham. I've watched the first series and I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and I would like to get around to watching the second season someday. And this is one, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be reviewing on the channel, as it's too connected for a good review, I would have said, in my opinion. And sort of what I mean by that is, with all of these sort of new science fiction TV show reviews that I want to do, I'm kind of at this point looking for series that I'll have like really standalone episodes, which would make the sort of whole process of reviewing them a lot easier. Gotham, however, whereas it is great, I feel like the episodes are far too connected for me to review at this point, if that makes sense. Like, there's 22 episodes in this series total, and 931 minutes of TV is just something I don't particularly want to sit through again just for one review, if that makes sense. As of now, I may get around to reviewing it at some point in the future, but as of now, yeah, great series, but it's nothing that I'll be reviewing anytime soon on the channel. And next up, we have another Marvel DC TV show that I have for some reason. Legends of Tomorrow Season 1. I'm not even really sure why I had this. I bought it in my local CEX because I thought it looks good. Watched the first episode and I haven't watched the rest because I am still baffled to this day by how bad that first episode was. It's terrible on pretty much every conceivable aspect possible, and I am still baffled to this day by how bad it was, and I just don't want to talk about it. But next up, we have one TV show that I do want to talk about, and that is Westworld. We have Westworld Season 1, The Maze. The soundtrack to Westworld Season 1, The Maze, and Westworld Season 2, The Door. From my watched, Westworld Season 1, The Maze was really good, and just nothing amazing in my opinion, but I do think I need to rewatch it. A lot of elements to it were good, but similar complaint to the Doctor Who's the Daleks Master Plan, as I sort of detailed in my Birmingham Comic Con video. I don't think it's got enough story to sustain all of its episodes, personally. I feel like it does sort of dip in quality in like the middle of it, but the beginning of it's good and the ending of it is really good as well. So yeah, and the music to it is absolutely fantastic, which is why I bought this soundtrack CD to Season 1, as it is absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Just love the music from Season 1 personally. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And then Westworld Season 2, The Door, has that same sort of thing that I mentioned with the X-Files series 8 and 9. People compare it to the first one and kind of hate it through that, but I'm willing to give it a chance. Maybe I'll enjoy it more than Season 1, who knows. But yeah, still looking forward to watching it. And that finishes up all of the TV shows for this sort of collection video series. So now moving on to the sort of horror and science fiction movies that I own, or that are a part of this collection. We have Boris Karloff's Frankenstein, which I went to see for my birthday at a special sort of cinema club in Belfast a couple of years ago and haven't seen it then, but I do remember it's being pretty good, and I am interested in rewatching this Blu-ray edition of it. Has some great has a load of special features in it as well, which is nice. Let's have a look here. So as you might be able to see down there, yeah, featured runtime is 70 minutes and the bonus runtime is 207, which is quite crazy. Here's another addition to the collection that I sort of acquired after that main recording, which is this DVD release of the 1933 version of The Invisible Man, another one of the Universal Studios monsters movies they did back in the 30s, and I recently watched this and it was absolutely fantastic. For a movie that's less than 70 minutes at only 68, this was an absolutely fantastic movie and did a very, very great job of adapting the original novel, which I actually read earlier this year and absolutely loved it. So both versions of The Invisible Man, I would say, are absolutely fantastic. But more to the subject matter here, this movie adaptation of it was absolutely fantastic in my opinion, and performances were great, and just absolutely incredible movie, I would have said, pretty fantastic. And Claude Rains, who played the Invisible Man, and this was just absolutely fantastic. So yeah, if you like the original book, or if you even like sort of older sci-fi movies, I would want to get into them. This is one I would recommend if you are sort of looking into those realms of movies, because this one is just simply fantastic. A really short and easy watch, and is just fantastic in my opinion. Although the funny thing is about this DVD release here is that when I watched this, I sent my good friend Harry Williams a clip from YouTube onto Messenger just to show him sort of a clip of the movie, and the quality of those clips on YouTube is actually of higher quality than this DVD release is, which is quite unusual. So yeah, this is quite a poor or relatively poor sort of release of the movie. It's not very well restored, I would have said. Then we have Creature from the Black Lagoon, one that I haven't watched yet, but I am interested in doing so. And then we have a couple releases from Arrow Video. We have the Andromeda Strain, which is a movie that sort of interested me, looking into sort of older science fiction movies. So when I saw it in my local HMV, there was a special buy one get one free deal with the Arrow Video Blu-ray, so I decided to get this at the same time as the original Carrie, which is the adaptation of the Stephen King novel. Out of the 3 Arrow videos that I'm about to show you, this is the only one that I have watched, and it was an absolutely fantastic movie. Great picture quality as well. If you like the original novel of Carrie, like I do, you'll probably like this movie a lot, and it is a fantastic adaptation of that Stephen King book. The third and last Arrow Video release of this sort of collection video, that is the John Carpenter's The Thing. This is a movie that I have seen, I think, once or twice on standard DVD, a couple times, and when I watched it then I thought it was alright, but thinking back on it, I think I enjoy it even more, and I'm one of those people that isn't too fussy on like picture quality or stuff like that. So if a Blu-ray is available, I'll get it, but if I can only get the DVD, I'll just get the DVD. But there are certain times where I automatically want to get something on Blu-ray, or if there's like a movie from the past that I've really liked, I kind of wanted to upgrade it to Blu-ray, I will, which is the sort of case with this movie here, John Carpenter's The Thing, which is a absolutely fantastic classic sci-fi horror movie, and I simply cannot wait to watch this may give it a review at some point on the channel. And then we have, get ready for this, 22 movies from Hammer House of Horror. So we have Peter Cushing's Dracula, which I recently watched and is an absolutely fantastic movie. Really good adaptation of the Dracula story, and yeah, it's just a fantastic horror movie in general. I would highly recommend this. Not only does it have Peter Cushing in it, it also has Brandon Lee, who played Dracula, obviously, and it also has Michael Gough in it, who, for Doctor Who fans watching this, you would know from the Celestial Toymaker, as he played the Celestial Toymaker in it. Yeah, great movie that is. And then we have a box set that I bought today. That is the Hammer Collection, which is a 21 disc box set containing 21 of their movies. I bought this today on the day that I'm recording this, and I am really happy to have this box set. It's a really elaborate and extensive collection of some of their movies, and I used to have another box set of Arrow video movies, which contained only 5 movies, which included, I believe, The Nanny, Dracula, Prince of Darkness, a couple of other movies, including Quatermass and The Pit, which is how I watched the Hammer House of Horror movie adaptation that I alluded to watching in my Birmingham Comic Con Part 2 video. But unfortunately I had to return that set because of a faulty disc that I discovered, which wasn't the Quatermass disc. I managed to watch that movie in full without any issues, which was great, and it was a great movie. But yeah, there it is in question, Quatermass and the Pit, which is a fantastic adaptation of the classic TV serial, and is another movie that I would probably like to review at some point in the future, and I am even tempted to do one whole video on just Quatermass stuff, and maybe that'll happen at some point on the channel, but kind of want to just get slowly started with movie and science fiction reviews on this channel as of now. But there was that, a very nice Hammer House of Horror movie box set, which contains so many good things. As you can see, lovely art cards, big booklet, and also just a single release of the Dracula movie they did with Peter Cushing. But yeah, looking forward to watching all of these movies, and I probably will review some of them at some point on the channel, possibly. And now we have the end of this sort of mini-series I've been doing on the channel, and that is this wonderful Blade Runner collector's tin sets, which I managed to get at Birmingham Comic Con for only £10, and I have talked about this previously in Excursus of a Fox episode 7, Birmingham Comic Con 2, but I still just have to talk about this set again because it's so fantastic, so elaborate. It is such an amazing collection of material of Blade Runner, and is such a treat for fans of the movie, and I probably will do a more in-depth sort of overview on this box set at some point in the future, maybe, as I said in my Birmingham video, Blade Runner is my favourite movie franchise of all time. I love the original movie. I've seen the final cut 3 times. I haven't watched any of the other cuts yet, but it's just an absolutely fantastic movie, and the sequel to it, Blade Runner 2049, is probably my favourite movie of all time. I just love and adore the Blade Runner franchise. I think it is simply fantastic, and I would just love to see more Blade Runner movies, as the ones so far have just been so good, but hopefully it doesn't lose the sort of spark that this and the new one had. I think they may have wanted Denis Villeneuve may have wanted to do more, but I think that kind of fell through the window. But still, I'm really happy with what we have in terms of Blade Runner movies. This original one here, and the newer one, 2049, which is probably my favourite movie of all time, as I had mentioned. But yeah, Blade Runner's collector's tin set, absolutely fantastic item to have in the collection if you are a fan of the Blade Runner movie, or as much of a fan of it as I am. And it's just absolutely incredible to me that I got this for only £10 at Birmingham Comic Con. Just absolutely incredible in my opinion, and I am so happy to have this set in the collection. So for one final look at my science fiction horror movie TV show / movie collection, this is it all on display, with the Invisible Man being on display up there currently, which is next to my bedside sort of area, with some Doctor Who stuff down there. I say bedside area because this is my bed here and that's my collection there. Yes, I literally sleep on this collection simply because I don't have anywhere else to put it, so under the bed this collection is. But yeah, so like, fair, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini series of my non-Doctor Who sci-fi TV show and horror movie sort of collection type of video series. So yeah, so like, fair, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. Pitch Girl Black, dematerializing.